Nicolas Cage is absolutely fearless, and for almost 40 years we've been blessed with hundreds of brilliant performances. Roughly 60% of those performances only existed because of Mr. Cage's love of castle ownership. His most recent project, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, co-stars Pedro Pascal. The pair are sparking up an unlikely bromance in the new comedy, but what happens when Cage is forced to betray his new BFF? The new film stars Nick Cage as Nick Cage, and explores the mind and works of Nick Cage. But is this just a glorified self-promotion, or will it be a genuine exploration of why we love an actor who is so great in terrible movies? I'm Chris Goodmakers with Screen Rant, and here's everything you need to know about The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Nicolas Cage was born Nicholas Kim Coppola. Sharing the same last name as an incredibly successful and popular director might be an advantage in Hollywood. But Nick Cage decided otherwise. Being a huge comic fan, he took the surname Cage from Marvel hero for hire Luke Cage. Marvel, I'm still waiting on the Ghost Rider Luke Cage team-up film. Get on it. Early in his career, Cage had steady roles in smaller and less remembered films until arguably he had his breakout parts in Moonstruck and Raising Arizona. After that, Cage was a household name. For the next 20 years, he would give us amazing classics like Con Air, The Rock, and National Treasure. He's also done some real turds. There was a time when Nick Cage was one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. However, he experienced, how should I put this? Financial difficulties around the mid-2000s. An excessively large tax bill and an uncontrollable urge to buy unique real estate meant he owed more than he earned. Professional accountants have an official designation for this. It's called "you broke." Owning the most haunted home in America comes with some property taxes, and that means you may have to take the lead in something called Drive Angry. That doesn't mean that Nicolas damn Cage was totally out of the game. During the infamous tax bill years, he still managed to turn in amazing performances in good films like Joe, The Frozen Ground, and Mandy. You can't keep Nick Cage down for long though, mostly because the decades of screaming have rendered his face numb to pain. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is not the first time an actor has played a fictionalized version of themselves. Being John Malkovich, or NPH in the Harold and Kumar movies, all feature over-the-top self-portrayals. However, Massive Talent looks different, mostly because Cage is going to be co-starring with himself. The Cage in the movie is at a career crossroads, wondering if it's time to hang up the various bad wigs. He's haunted by visions and specters of his younger, more successful self. In the trailer, we see a de-aged Cage, looking like he did when he was promoting the movie Wild at Heart. De-aged ghosts of the past aside, the most unbelievable thing about this movie is that Nick Cage can't land a gig. The man had 3 films in 2021 alone, and has 3 more coming out in 2022, plus a TV show where he plays Lord Highfire. We live in blessed times. But for this film, the Oscar winner is suffering from the unbearable weight of massive talent, and only Pedro Pascal can help. The plot of the film revolves around Cage taking a job hanging out at a billionaire's birthday party. Javi, played by Pedro Pascal, is like me, if I had a lot of money. He's a huge Cage fan and fills a special room with the man's film memorabilia. Cage and Javi quickly become best friends, and everything seems to be on an upswing for Mr. Cage. Enter CIA agents Ike Barinholtz and Tiffany Haddish. Javi, they explain, is a ruthless criminal, and only Cage can bring him down. Can Cage turn on his new friend, survive, and rediscover his love of acting? Probably. Like I said, the man has 4 movies scheduled after this one. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is written and directed by Tom Gormican. He approached Cage multiple times about the film, and Cage turned him down 3 or 4 times according to the actor himself. The filmmaker sent Cage a very personal and passionate letter explaining his drive to tell this story. Apparently moved by the letter, Cage decided to star in a movie about a fictionalized version of himself. How fictional? One of the differences Cage noted is that this version has a far bigger potty mouth. The actor says he rarely swears outside of acting, and he's also a far calmer person. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent looks like a lot of fun, and hopefully it lives up to the premise. I'm a huge Nick Cage fan, and even in his smaller roles, he's not afraid to take some big risks. Some, like the bathroom scene in Mandy, are unforgettable performances. But even when it's really bad, it's still hard to look away. Like his hair in Bangkok Dangerous, or Willy's Wonderland, or Kiss of Death, Outcast. Oh, there's the other one.